I love my women like I like my microwave in my kitchen and working.
You're a victim.
Okay, so if that's true, if men are the enforcement mechanism, why does that then mean that women's equality is a bad idea?
Well, I didn't say it was a bad idea. I mean, it is, but what my position is that it's laughable that egalitarianism is even possible because women have no way to enforce their rights. They have to use men to enforce their rights. So since they have to use men to enforce their rights, they don't really have any rights because all the rights come from men.
But why does the notion of egalitarianism have to be predicated on physical strength or like who gets to enforce it?
Well, what else could it be predicated on?
Principles of like what's best for society.
And what happens if somebody violates those principles?
Equal,
Sure.
Like why would it be based off the enforcement?
What happens if somebody violates those principles?
What do you mean?
Well, so if you have a society in which you have laws and government and things like this and whatever social contracts you come up with, what happens if one side violates those principles, or a person or an individual or a group violates those principles? What would you do with them? You would, well, I would think arrest them maybe, or punish them, or do something punitive, or put them in prison or something like that. And so you're right back to the enforcement mechanism again. So there's really no way around it. The enforcement mechanism is from men, will always be from men. And so it's paradoxical to say that women can have equal rights, because even if they do have equal rights, it's just because men have allowed them to.
But does that make women's equality laughable or like an absurd idea?
Well, it's paradoxical on its face, so it has to be laughable, because there is never going to be such thing as women's equality, just an illusion thereof, because if it's decided by even a small majority of men, majority being like 10, 15, 20%, they just won't have it anymore, and there's nothing they can do about it. So essentially, always they have to defer to men for this.
Sure, your entire neighborhood one day can just decide, we hate Andrew, he's annoying, he's not mowing his lawn, let's go kill him. Does that mean your rights are laughable?
Not if they were women.
Overpowered by a larger
Not if they were women. They could do that if they were men, though. I agree. I would agree that men could likely...
I'm pretty sure 20 women could come and just decide we're going to overtake Andrew because he's not mowing his lawn.
I think it would be far more difficult for them to enforce it than 20 men. Wouldn't you agree? And I think that they would probably appeal to men in order to exercise the enforcement, which is what they do right now, which is what women do right now. They appeal to men to exercise all enforcement of all of their rights and all of the things that they want. They can't appeal to women because women can't enforce their rights and never have been able to.
It's facts! It's facts! It's not facts. Exactly. Feminists only exist if there are young warrior-aged men willing to die for that idea. And this is how you know the majority of men don't want to oppress women, because if men wanted to take away women's rights, they could, and unfortunately there isn't much women could do about it. And the only thing preventing this reality is the fact that most men don't want to oppress women. Most men want women to feel happy and protected.
So, what do you think?
So nice.
Are you... Baby, you were this close to being single!
I don't know how it gets better than... I'm not afraid of spiders. I deal with the spiders in my house.
Gotcha, bitch! Never put your hands on a woman. That would be the rule.
That's what I was taught growing up.
Let me ask a deeper question. Do you agree with that rule?
No, I don't agree with that.
Why?
Because I believe that if anybody puts their hands on you, you have every right to put your hands on them.
So if a woman, you're openly saying that you'd hit a woman?
I would hit somebody if I feel like my life is in danger or somebody attacked me. It's not woman anymore, because now men can be women and women can be men. So, you know, apparently we're equal, right? Yeah. So if a person, attacked me and went to attack me, I have every right to defend myself, isn't that?
Yeah, but you know that you're physically stronger than a woman, though.
Yeah, but she does. But something's going on in her head that makes her think that she can take my punch.
Okay, but again,
But if you know that, you know I'm physically stronger than a woman.
Yeah, yeah.
You know you're physically stronger than a woman.
Yeah.
So why doesn't she know that?
Let me.
True. We know this as men. Why didn't she know that? Why does she think she can do it?
Joke's on you, Arlen. I identify as a woman.
Just because somebody's stronger than you doesn't mean you get to hit them without consequence. You can even take sex out of it. Mike Tyson could probably throw a punch harder than me, but if I walked up and hit Mike Tyson, I would expect to be hit back. And I always try to warn women about this because it takes a lot for me to hit a woman, but there are some guys that have no problem feeding a woman a knuckle sandwich.
Hello?
Hey, baby, you almost home?
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Alright. I got warm water, bubbles, and candles going for you when you get home.
Really? Thanks, baby.
Yep. Alright, I love you. I'll see you soon.
Bye. Love you, bye.
Alright, bye.
You said you'd prefer a guy who does self-defense using other methods. Are we talking like with his fist?
Oh, not like that. I just mean like, I think a gun is a bit extreme. Like if like, because most people would argue like for a legally obtained firearm in like a circumstance of self-defense. Like if someone breaks into your home, like most people would argue for that. I'm just saying like, I personally would prefer a different, I don't know.
There's 5 home invaders. All of them don't have weapons. They're ready to throw down with their fists against your husband. Would you prefer he has his hands or a gun?
Hands.
You don't want. He's gonna
I don't
get
want
the
them
shit,
dying
he's
if
gonna
they're
get the
just coming
shit
into
kicked
my
out of him.
house.
What if after they kill him they want to you? Wouldn't you want him to have a gun in that instance?
Whoa, I didn't think they were gonna kill him.
Well, I mean, they're home invaders. If he's gonna fight them,
just because you invade someone's home doesn't mean you're gonna kill them.
Like, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, are you dumb? I think she's dumb. I think she's dumb.
No, not necessarily, but I don't think you should go up to them and ask. Everything people love, they protect with guns. Banks are protected with guns. Jewelry stores are protected with guns. Even people that are trying to abolish guns are protected by people with guns.
You don't find that suspicious?
In America, we've had guns for the past 400 years. Why are we seeing more shootings in the past 40 years than in the previous 400? It's because America has a mental health problem, not a gun problem. And I don't care what the problem is, because if you walk into my house, I'm going to put you on the news or die trying.
Oh, I'm beating your ass.
Slow down there, buckaroo.
I'm trying to be woke. I actually go in the ladies' restroom now. Sure. Well, because technically I'm a man, but I identify as a pervert.
What do you mean by that?
It's a confrontation on a plane between 2 passengers who were sitting next to each other.
You know nothing about me by the size of my body.
It happened on an American Airlines flight from Dallas to LA. Natalie Haig, who is a plus-size model, says she immediately realized there'd be a problem with the passenger sitting next to her.
Wonder why? As soon as I walk on the plane, I was met with this person that was just disgusted by the fact that I existed next to him.
Understandable.
Natalie says as they waited for takeoff, she noticed the guy was sending out a text to a friend. Natalie decided to fight back, snapping this photo and sharing it with her 100,000 followers on Instagram. His friend writes, hopefully she didn't eat any Mexican food. To which the passenger replied, I think she ate a Mexican.
Fat bitches need to shut up, bruh. Not gonna lie, it be a lot of the fat hoes talking. You fat bitches need to shut the fuck up. On God.
Maybe when you first seen him, he wasn't disgusted by the fact that you were fat. Maybe he was just upset because he knew he was going to be squeezed like a Capri Sun for the next 3 hours. Or maybe he was upset with the fact that he spent $400 on an economy seat and you're taking half of it. Some people are so blinded by the idea that people don't like them because of a certain characteristic that they can't even fathom the idea that people don't like them because they're a shitty person.